Geekies, I know what you're thinking. I know. How did I get to see this movie so early? Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales, or Salazar's Revenge, depending where you are from, is directed by Joaquin Ronin and Espen Sandberg, and it's written by Jeff Nathanson, and it stars, of course, Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow, as well as Jeffrey Rush, Kaya Scodelario, Brendan Thwaites, and Javier Bardem, among others. And I don't want to get too much into the really thick plot of this movie, but I will tell you that Salazar, an old man of the Navy, returns from the dead to try and get at Jack Sparrow because he wants revenge, of course, because of something that Jack Sparrow did to him. I'm not a huge fan of the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. In fact, I watched the 4 movies this past week to get prepared for this one, and I only truly like the first one. This one is a close second. This is a fun movie, guys. It's a fun blockbuster. The action scenes in this film are spectacular. I have not seen such good action scenes, be it hand-to-hand combat with swords and swashbuckling things, but also the ship battles and people fighting between ships and jumping from ship to ship as they are navigating side by side with each other. There's a spectacular scene with Jack Sparrow and Salazar, and they are jumping on the cannons from ship to ship, apart from other things going on that I will not spoil, and it is simply truly amazing to watch. The colors are also very good in this movie. I love the color grading of this movie. I love the cinematography in general. There's a shot in this film where they get to a specific island that, of course, I will not spoil, and they get this overhead shot, and it just looks beautiful, truly magnificent. And there are also a couple of action sequences that truly remind you in the way they are shot and just everything and the score going on in the background. They remind you of Mad Max Fury Road, and another one reminds you of Fast 5. Specifically, Fast 5. This has to be the funniest movie in this franchise since the first one, because it also has the funniest use of Jack Sparrow. Throughout the franchise, Jack Sparrow has become more and more of the drunken fool of this franchise, but in this movie, they use it very well. I like his jokes, I like the physical humor. There's one incredible sequence where he is on a guillotine, and it's awesome, guys. It's fucking awesome. Everyone in my theater was cracking up laughing, probably one, if not the second, maybe, funniest part of the film. And I like Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow in this film a lot. Look, he doesn't have much to develop for himself, but if you've seen the last movie, you know he's trying to get the Black Pearl out of the bottle, and he has that going for him, as well as meeting some other new characters, and his bitter banter with Barbossa as well going on in this film, and I really enjoyed what he had to do here. He has a couple of action sequences that, yes, I wish in one or the other he would have been more serious and just fight with a sword like we know he can, but he really was the drunken fool still. But he is funny doing that role, he's funny doing that shtick, and I'm glad they did not exaggerate it, but also they went with it, without fearing. Jeffrey Rush probably steals this movie from Johnny Depp as Barbossa. This guy is so unbelievably cool. He was just a standard villain in the first movie, and then he became just kind of a side character, but here he shines completely. I really like some of the stuff they did with his character. I really like his motivations. There's something that inadvertently they do with this character that I did not enjoy, but that doesn't take away from how much this character gave to the movie and how significant his role was to the movie. Brendan Thwaites, I'm not going to lie, you go to IMDb, you know what his name is, you know what he's here to do, and actually the first scene of this film with his character going down and search for the Dutchman and searching for Orlando Bloom is probably my favorite scene of the movie. That first scene really worked for me, and I was surprised because I don't really care a lot about William Turner, I don't really care for his son, I don't really care for his struggles, and that scene, the dialogue, the music, the acting in general, the cinematography, I just like that scene a lot. It really worked effectively to get this movie going. Javier Bardem does a good job acting-wise, but his character is just a standard villain. Again, he is a ghost, and by proxy, just like the plot of this movie, his character, and again, the plot of the movie, they follow a lot of beats that the first movie does. And that is a good thing and a bad thing. It's a bad thing because you've seen it before, but it's a good thing because they return to the origins of this franchise and know how to be simple. They do not overcomplicate the plot on this one. Look, the third movie felt like 5 movies in one, in 2 hours and 40 unnecessary minutes of runtime. I really enjoyed how this movie was simplified in terms of plot and how they did not exaggerate in presenting characters midway through. Kaya Scodelario did a fantastic job acting-wise. I really like this woman as an actress. Her character, however, seems like the first half of what she's doing in this film is proving that women can do what men do, and you know, you get that feminist run throughout most of the movie until she really gets something going for her, and then she finally does something that I personally did not enjoy about her character, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. Many people may enjoy it as they see this film. Just like the cinematography that didn't really stand out in the trailers, the special effects, which looked a little bit choppy, but again, their trailers look really great in this film. Seriously, the ghosts and Salazar's whole crew in general, they look amazing and they are all very different. There's one guy in his crew that just exits the tip of his arm and his hand and a hat, and that's how you see him in the movie, and they have all this like dust bits going on floating around where their bodies should be, and they look really good, as well as zombie sharks. I did not know I would be so riveted because of zombie sharks. Speaking of also special effects, you thought only Marvel was doing this, but Disney in general is doing it, and that is Johnny Depp as young Johnny Depp. He looks great. There's one shot of him where he's looking sideways, and that did honestly look really weird because you just knew that that person didn't have Johnny Depp's face, or maybe that was Johnny Depp and the special effects were not finished, but I really enjoyed it still. I believe that Johnny Depp was talking through that mouth and everything, and the scene where it shows up itself, it's kind of exposition-y, and the exposition does sometimes get in the way of this film, but still really enjoyable and impressive to see how far we come in terms of special effects. It's fun and energetic. This movie has the laughs. This movie has the action sequences to get your blood going. This movie is fun and energetic. It gets those action sequences to get your blood flowing, to get your blood pumping. It also is funny and gets you to feel for the characters whenever you need to. I really like the score, even though it wasn't Hans Zimmer, and it is a perfectly simple popcorn blockbuster fun summer film, and that's what you're here to do. Stay through to the end credits because there's an after credit scene. I'm not sure if I like it, depends on what they do after this, but this movie certainly isn't up from the other 3 movies before it. It's not better than the first, but it's certainly a close second. It is shot really well, the score is great, it has a lot of fun action sequences, and a lot of character moments that really make you feel for the characters if you love them already. I think it's a return to form, mostly for the franchise. Some of the dialogue could have been a little bit chopped out, but overall, I will recommend Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales, or Salazar's Revenge, because it is a martini. It is a good time, anytime. And I actually should have corrected this grading to a rum and coke. It's a good time, anytime. What did you think of Pirates of the Caribbean 5? If you've seen it, my beautiful geekies, I know this is early, many people won't see this until the 24th, 23rd, 25th, but let me know what is your favorite movie in this franchise. If it is the first, the second, if it is this one, if you've seen it, let me know in the comments below, and go to the description to check out the beautiful Geeky Community Facebook group. The link is in there as always. Thank you so much for watching, my beautiful geekies. You guys are the freaking best. I love you all from the bottom of my heart, and until tomorrow with another review, also with Orlando Bloom, curiously, you stay beautiful, and you stay geeky, and if you haven't done so yet, click the subscribe button and the bell so we can be geeky united!